All right, people, strap in your chastity belts and hide your goat milk, because today we're diving into the naughty, weird, and seriously confusing sex rules of the Middle Ages. So get this. Sex was basically seen as a sin unless you were doing it the holy way. And what's the holy way, you ask? Missionary position only, married, and for making babies. That's it. No loop-de-loops, no backflips, no... What are we naming this move?
Thou shalt not reverse, cowgirl child.
Yep, the church was watching. Not literally, but you get what I mean. So you've probably heard of chastity belts, metal underwear locked up to keep women pure. Sounds like something out of a bad fanfic, right? But historians now think most of those were either myths or made for museums centuries later. Turns out people in the Middle Ages didn't want to rust their downstairs. Okay, so there were rules like no sex on Sundays, Fridays, before big church holidays, during Lent, Advent, and on feast days. That's like 200 plus days a year.
Today's Tuesday, still no. Wait till Thursday after sunset.
Honestly, your sex life needed a personal assistant just to schedule it. Virginity was like medieval Bitcoin. Super valuable, especially for women. Losing it before marriage? Scandal.
Ladies, this is the time when your mom would be like, "You showed your ankle, didn't you?"
Some noble families would even get a priest to check the bed sheets after the wedding night for blood. Like, sir, what are you doing in here? Contraception existed, kinda, but it was wild. Some people used mixtures of honey, crocodile dung, or herbs like pennyroyal. Others just relied on magic charms, or thought certain positions would stop pregnancy. Spoiler, they didn't. Science? Never heard of her. Plot twist. Some towns had legal brothels, like regulated, taxed, with rules and everything. But the women had to wear certain clothes, usually yellow, so everyone knew. Knock knock. Who's there? The tax collector. Now get this, priests and monks weren't allowed to have sex, right? But many of them did anyway. There are even court records of priests running off with nuns. Scandalous. Romeo and Juliet, Monastery Edition. So yeah, sex in medieval times, super strict, super weird, super contradictory. People were told to behave like saints, but let's be real. They were still human, just really confused humans, with no showers. Moral of the story? Don't trust anyone in history who tells you they were pure. They were probably just better at hiding stuff. If you thought medieval people were freaky, wait till you hear what the Victorians were up to. Subscribe, and I'll tell you why they thought you could go blind from too much solo jousting. Don't be shy, smash that like medieval style.